Hi everyone, how are you? Welcome to another episode with me, Dr. Sarah Bash, your industrial organizational psychologist. So, today I want to really focus on giving some comfort, encouragement, some sense of direction for those of you that have, been laid off since last year, 2024, till date. And unfortunately, from what you're hearing from the news, there's going to be some more reoccurring layoffs. And, what I would do, just like most of you may be doing by now, depending on, where you are from the time you've been laid off, is to take a stock of, why it happened and what you've learned. But the first thing I actually would like you all to start off to think about is just the idea that you're just grateful for the opportunity to have actually worked there, right? I'm sure at some level, they're grateful that you took on the job to invest in their company to fill that role because roles are created to contribute to the bottom line of the company. So just the gratitude that at some point, for a period of time, your service was super important for them for their strategic plan for that year. And for various reasons, usually, in terms of lack of profit or productivity, just not meeting the bottom line, just not meeting certain strategic goals, they've decided to pivot. They've decided to restructure, right? And they've decided to just take off certain people. And the reality is, what I'm seeing on the news here is that, it's not being done pleasantly necessarily. I saw some things on TikTok where folks are actually recording their layoffs, and some folks are not even getting the reason why they're being laid off or being let go. And that sucks. Absolutely. But I just want you to just realize that your time wasn't wasted there. Um, there was a reason why you fulfilled that role. There was a reason why they scouted you out. There was a reason why you passed the interview process. There was a reason why they offered you the job. You are still important. You are still important. Okay? The reality is, unless you become an owner of your business, everywhere you or I work, okay, as long as we are employees, that organization doesn't belong to us. It doesn't belong to you, right? So when you're going from one job to another, yes, there is sometimes a sense of family, some sense of like cohesion, but at the end of the day, we are a human asset. We are somebody, but we're there for a short period of time to provide a service, like being a soldier out in war sometimes, right? You're just there to provide a service in a particular functional area, department, for a particular project, and sometimes that role expands. But in this current season, you're seeing companies are just, tightening up their purse strings and saying we got to let go. But you are super important. But the mere fact that you were hired, your skills, okay, were highlighted to them and they needed it. So I know for many of you right now, you're at a grieving process right now, stunned, shocked, complete, just like, I don't know what to do, but you are still important. You are still important. I would like you to just take a beat. Take a beat because everything truly does happen for a reason. Take a beat, take a deep breath, and just look back. At least if you're working there for 3 months, even for a year probational period, for example, or even 2 years, okay? Just take stock like, okay, what did I learn about this role? How significant was it to your future plans? Because for me, I don't feel like, everyone's going to be in a role forever and ever. I mean, there are some people that are there like 12 plus years, but that number is decreasing, especially for the Gen Zs and even the millennials. Not everyone's going to stay that long till retirement, right? So what did you learn from that role? Did you actually really enjoy that role anyway? Let's be honest. Did you really enjoy your role? Yes, it paid the bills. Yes, it did. But did it really, feel in that void in your heart, your spirit, that it's fulfilling purpose? Okay. And or was it just a stepping stone to where you actually want to be? So just think about what you really loved about it, what you really didn't, what kind of person were you in the workplace, what kind of person did you vibe with. I'm asking you these questions to think about so you can take stock, and as you prepare for the next thing, the next job, you start to like be very intentional what type of organization you want to be part of again next, and what type of job you want to go into next. And here lies, while you're in this time out moment, you get to know yourself a little bit more, okay, about what where you want to invest your time when it comes to a career. Do a personality test again, because some of you may have already done it before, but you change, you evolve, okay. Do another personality test, do a career test again, all right, because again, things that you desire to do, things you're interested in, will change over time. This is you taking more control over your life and where you invest your time when it comes to a job and fitting into an organization. I also like the idea of like going into these websites such as glassdoor.com. That's glass, GLASSDOOR.com. All right, glassdoor.com, because you get to see all these comments from former workers or current workers in various organizations, like big, medium, and small organizations. You get to see their interview process. You get to see and hear about even their salaries, like real deal feedback from the employees, former employees, whether it's disgruntled or not, okay, and current employees. And I see glassdoor.com and similar websites because I love them, because it really starts to manage your expectations about whether you see yourself in that company or not. That was actually part of my dissertation for my PhD in IO psychology, was like ensuring that during this interview process, right, HR managers and employers really give the real accurate insight of what this job is going to be like, and also the environmental factors, okay? Also the environmental factors. So do a big deep dive of companies that you may foresee yourself in the future, and just reassess yourself. This is a beautiful time. This time you have right now is not a waste of time. I really truly believe, like I said, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. Don't sit there, whine, or complain or waste time. This is like this moment in time that you may never get again. All right. So do a really deep dive of, again, your personality, your career shifts. Okay. The kind of people you want to work with in the future, the kind of work you actually want to do for work. Okay. You actually want to do. And you know, another thing too, what I would encourage you during this time out is that as you're assessing yourself and taking a stock, or some people may say a post-mortem of what's just happened, okay, I would also do some work that's really, that pulls on your heartstrings, such as volunteer work. I have experienced before, even when I've done volunteer work, like I was an intern for a refugee organization, IRC, and through connections, I was able to get a permanent job. So I would encourage you to, yes, look, some of you are, may say to yourself, say to me, I don't have time for no volunteer work. I've got to pay bills. I've got the kids. I get it. But this is just something to like get your mind off that pain of losing a job for right now, like resetting your energy, resetting your focus, getting you focused on when you're looking for a job, you're focusing on your purpose. All right. So volunteering at some local community organization that you've always been interested in. It could be a food bank. It could be a refugee place like I've done before. It could be a homeless shelter. Okay. There's so many things that you could do, or an intern. Some of you may be, think about having a pivot in your career, right? So maybe doing a volunteer in an actual organization that you're thinking about, or an intern, right? Or internship, just to like really just spread your network a little bit, and increasing your opportunities to connect with different people. All right. just sometimes this is one of those moments of humility, okay? You kind of have to go down sometimes and go up. And I truly believe that most of you who are listening to me right now, if you do take this moment of deep dive and thinking about how you could be of service, just reshifting your energy and reshifting your focus, something good is gonna, come out from this. Because when you pay it forward, something good always comes out. Someone is always watching you. Also, while you're having this time out too, yeah, you could start looking for jobs, but I'm gonna come to that in a moment. But I would encourage you to, outside of volunteering and maybe interning, maybe look for something in your immediate community, such as like something part-time in the grocery store or your local Walmart or something like that, something part-time, or maybe it could be full-time, right? Again, something just not too heavy, but it's just something to just kind of pay most of your bills, okay? Something not too heavy. Because what I wouldn't want for anybody is to rush into get another job and you're stuck there and you really don't like it. I'm just saying this because when God gives these opportunities to take a rest, there is a reason for this. Maybe some of you listen to me right now, when you got this job during this probational period or for the past 2-3 years, in your heart of hearts, you were like, you don't want to be here. You don't want to be here. Maybe this may not be applicable to all of you, but some of you truly didn't like the environment you were in. For the job that you were doing, just didn't really turn you on. It just wasn't it. So this is why I'm saying that this time of it's layoff, but it's a time to reflect, what do I want to do? Okay? Now, also, what I would also do is, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. So some of you may actually have some skills that are potential, to be monetized. So think about this, maybe the time that you can actually start that business you've been thinking about for years. Everything happens for a reason. Okay? Write that plan out. What does it look like? Okay? What is your business going to disrupt that you're going to do better than your competitors? Think about it. This is the best time to focus on this. All right? Because some of you truly have skills that are customizable for the marketplace today. You can try and think of being a consultant, for example. Because think about it, when you have a job, they're paying you for your skills, your technical skills, but as well as your soft skills. So those things can be monetized. This is the time out to think about it. You may never get this time back again, to have this moment of just, you didn't get fired, okay? You just got laid off so you can lay down and you can rest and think things through, okay? Now, there is going to be some impulse, of course, to start looking for a job really, really quickly. Listen, if you have to do whatever you have to do, okay? But when it comes to like choosing these jobs, of course, customize a few different resume templates for various jobs. I would apply for like low ranking jobs to like medium ranking jobs, considering the job market right now, especially a lot of companies are, doing these layoffs. So you want to be able to for you to have a bit more success than the next person, you want to be able to apply for jobs that not only you can use your transferable skills, but something close to what you're already doing. All right. Nothing too different, but close to what you already doing. Okay. Or less than that, if you really want to get this job really quickly. So that's what I would advise, to customize your resumes to jobs that in a similar industry, close to the job title that you're already doing. Okay. And then what I would also be doing, okay, so I've said the resumes, right? But with these resumes, all right, I saw a video recently, and I think the guy was absolutely right. how people can be so, you're so intense of like putting these resumes out and you're wondering why the job market is just not working for you. There's something, um have you heard of this thing where you can focus on something so much, and because you focus on it so much, nothing is happening. All right. That honestly is a very energetic rule regarding that. All right. Where it says when you focus on something so much and you focus on it so intensely, God, this is who I believe in, you're telling him you want to be in control of this process of you getting a job. But if you just send the resumes, I would just do maybe like 5 or so a month, really. Or, if you do bi-weekly schedules, so that would be like 10, right? Different types of jobs. Once you send that resume, that's it. Up to 10 resumes a month, that's it. Leave it alone. Don't keep checking back. Don't just keep, following up, with the hiring manager. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. I have noticed before when I was on a search for jobs, okay, and then I just left it alone for like a month or two, it was like a wave of hiring managers trying to hire me. And I'm like, oh, it's very energetic. It's a very energetic thing. You don't want to come across desperate at all, even though people know there's a lot of layoffs right now, that recruiters know there's a lot of layoffs, but you still want to be someone that is seen as respectful, and they should be chasing you down. All right. So just give out like 10 resumes in a month or less, and take your mind off it. Take your mind off it. I would simultaneously, as you're putting these resumes out, the type of role that you see yourself working in for the rest of the year, start to mentally prepare yourself to get into that role. Start seeing yourself in that role. Okay. Start, even looking at the company records, look at the company financial statements, look at the company's goals for the year, and kind of see how you would even contribute to the bottom line of this company. Because even when it comes to interviews, all right, you want to be able to be different from the rest by when you've looked at their annual report, you've seen what their targets are for 2025. This will be very pivotal during the interview process, and even when you're applying too. I would add this type of information when you're in your application, those cover letters that you say something like, according to your annual report, you're focusing on increasing sales in, I don't know, in this all industry, all sector, and I have, skills in this, or something where you can see your current skills can correlate with what their targets are for 2025. So this 2025 and moving forward, it is going to be highly competitive for jobs, highly competitive. So the more due diligence that you do in really understanding the companies that you are targeting, the more you're going to stand out from the rest. So looking at their annual reports for 2024 to see where they're going as a company, to see if you want to invest your time in that company, looking at any news bulletins, so they can see that you are well versed on the culture and the targets for the year, and you, via your application form or even your resume, you can see yourself there as well. So there'll be a good match. Okay, there'll be a good match. All right. So I really hope you've gotten something from this video, because there's still hope out there. There's still hope. Don't give up. It's a really interesting time, all these layoffs. It's a very interesting time. We don't know what it's going to look like, but like I said, it's also a pivotal time for you listening to this to reassess yourself. Are you going to go back into the job market again? Are you going to stand out from the rest? Or are you going to start your own thing? Because for many people, this has been such a traumatic experience. And it's a wake-up call that the reality is, unless you are the owner, even like supervisors don't have that much pull. But as long as you're not the owner, all right, anything can happen to the job, to your job role. There's been so many restructurings. I've being privy to, being part of. It's not easy. It's never easy. But if you own your company, trust me, you're also going to be someone that's going to be very much like, is this what we're doing as a company? Is this making us a profit? Do we need all this headcount? All right. Do we need to be doing investing in this type of processes? Do we need to invest in these type of goods and services? You're going to be doing the same reassessments that the current companies that are laying off too. So don't take it personally. Don't take anything personally. When it's your own company, then take it personally. But until then, don't take it personally. You came in to do a job, you were actually hired, you stood out from the rest, and you can do it again. You can do it again. Let's continue the conversation in the comment section. If there's anything that you're doing right now that can help somebody out there that is really feeling down and out, please put it in the comment section, okay, so to help somebody else. Until next time, stay blessed. Bye.